And BRC, Vaishnav, Vandana, Goshti. And here the devotees are preparing. आपको पता है कि ये लास्ट मिनट एग्जाम प्रिपेयर करने वाले कितने लोग यहाँ पर बैठे सारे आईआईटीएंस लास्ट मिनट प्रिपेयर करते हैं. This is a different exam. You can prepare with a smile. टेंशन में आके इतना टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है कि सारे विकास प्रभु his notes. प्रभु बहुत सीरियस पर्सन है. तीनों प्रभु इन्होंने अपने नोट्स छुपा लिए हैं. सूरज प्रभु के नोट्स थोड़े से सूरज प्रभु इनका नोट लिख रहा है. कहाँ जा रहा है? यूट्यूब पे. और ज्यादा नहीं है और कुछ. अरे यूट्यूब पे ही तो है. और क्या जैसे कि आप 20, 30, 40 साल बाद देखेंगे. पांचल प्रभु लीडर ऑफ द ग्रुप. इन्होंने कोई नोट्स नहीं बनाया, कुछ पढ़ाई नहीं की इन्होंने. शुभम प्रभु फ्रॉम स्टॉकहोम is visiting us here right now. इनका बेस्ट नोट्स है, काफी डिटेल नोट्स है. एक तो ना यूट्यूब पे डाल रहे हैं तो okay. Before we start, you might be cool. Hi. Actually, now let's sit in a circle already. We're all sitting in a circle. So, किसी को टेक लगाना है तो टेक लगाना है. So, let's find out how big a circle we use. यहाँ दोनों तरफ नहीं पाएगा तो zero social distancing. और आ रही only 5 will be 5 will be. हाँ ये अच्छा सर्कल बना लीजिए. अच्छा सर्कल बना लीजिए. All right, so ready?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
All the Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the Varishta Vaishnavas here for the Vaishnav Vandana Goshti Haribol of Gita Bhavan / Bhaktivedanta Research Center on this most auspicious day of the 10th of June 2021. And we are hoping and praying that this can become a historic event for our own memories in the future and a detailed and a regular practice actually within our own lives, that we can absorb ourselves in the Vandana or the appreciation of the devotees, especially the fellow devotees we are with, and devotees in general, and people in general. And hopefully, if we lay a good example, that there can be other groups that would follow. Okay, so wanted to say that the rule would be that we have about 5 minutes for each person, for every person that is chosen who would have to be appreciated, then he will be appreciated by at least, we are looking at maybe at least 3 people to appreciate it. So that means you have about 1.5 minutes, couple minutes to appreciate the devotee. At the end of it, we will come up with 3 qualities / talents, which exemplify that particular Vaishnava. So that means whenever we see that Vaishnava, then we can, that's the foremost things in our mind, that this is wonderful quality of this devotee. And when that happens, we can see that how Krishna is manifesting, right? Because Krishna is a combination of all of those qualities, which will come across. If we come with 18 people, 18 into 356 qualities, 56 भोग जैसे भगवान को लगता है, 54 sorry, तो ठीक है 2 और ऐड कर देना, 56 भोग भगवान को लगता है, वैसे भगवान में 56 qualities, he has all of these, and we have isn't it? We have a tiny bit of the same thing, but we have to try to see that. So, do we have is everybody here right now? You're here? Okay, all right, with body you are here. With what else are you here? With soul, directly. Inka mind intelligence se koi matlab nahi, directly soul is here. Jai, Hari Bol. Okay, everybody else who has a material mind, people who do not have material mind and material mind, they don't have to bother, but others, sorry, getting confused. I'm saying, aapke material mind hai, aapka material mind bhi, you will keep it here now. Okay, mind, intelligence, body, soul, senses, everything, samadhi in Vaishnav Vandana Goshti. All right, with a smile. With a smile. Hari Bol, Jai, Hari Bol. आप ऐसे ना रहे, ऐसा लगे पता नहीं कब चले जाएंगे. थोड़ा ऐसा चलेगा, उस तरफ ऐसे करके. ऐसा, that's how we sit in a meeting ना, मुझे पता है जाना है, थोड़ा सा ऐसा करके. Okay, all right. Okay, so we'll start now. Okay, Suraj Prabhu has a very special role. He will make, oh, Hari Bol. जय। बड़े वाले वैष्णव आ चुके हैं और we will start with the senior most devotees who have come just now. And what was I saying? Yeah, so Suraj Prabhu has the role. Suraj Prabhu has a timer role. First of all, आपने वो कोई एक शीट पे आपको ऐसा दिखाना पड़ेगा थोड़ा टाइम। अच्छा, करताल बजा के, ओ जय हरि बोल, टांग। और ज्यादा करेंगे तो उनके सर पर जाके जरा सा। So, okay, wonderful, yeah. Okay, all right, आप बाहर नहीं रह सकते, आपको यहाँ आना होगा। आज यहाँ थोड़ा नजदीक में, इनको सर्कल के अंदर लीजिए, सर्कल के बाहर नहीं लीजिए, इनको यहाँ पर सामने लीजिए। ओके, सो हाँ, यहाँ पर ले आइए, यहाँ पर आ जाइए। ओके, ऑल राइट बाबू, आपको कैमरा अच्छे से फोकस करना है, मिस मत करना, यही आपकी समाधि है आज, ठीक है? ऑलराइट, ओके, सो वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट विथ, किससे स्टार्ट करना है? Maybe the first person is, generally the most important seva is in ISKCON is what kind of religion? Dash religion, Christian religion, jai हरि बोल। So सबसे पहले हम शुरुआत करेंगे किचन के जो राधा रानी के साथ में डायरेक्टली काम करते हैं, उनके साथ काम करेंगे। डायरेक्ट असिस्टेंट ऑफ श्रीमती राधा रानी इज हियर विद अस, ओके, वेरी स्पेशल पर्सन। तो सबसे पहले हम विष्णु प्रभु के बारे में, कौन वैष्णव है जो विष्णु प्रभु के बारे में कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? हरि बोल। टाइम स्टार्ट्स नाउ, वी स्टार्टिंग एट 7। विष्णु प्रभु के बारे में कौन बोल?
हिंदी तो आपने हिंदी में इसके बारे में पूरा नहीं समझता। अभी वो अभी पूरी एक सर्कल बनेगा।
हरे कृष्णा। तो ये मेरा सौभाग्य है कि विष्णु प्रभु जैसे काफी जो भक्ति से, भगवान से प्रेम रखते हैं, उनके बारे में मैं कुछ बोल पाऊं। तो मुझे जो सबसे, मैं पहले कुछ महीने तक प्रभु के साथ में सेवा कर रहा था, 7-8 महीने, तो मुझे एक बहुत जो मतलब हाईलाइटेड क्वालिटी वो दिखी, वो मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि प्रभु जी ने कभी यहाँ आके ऐसा नहीं समझा कि मैं एज अ जॉब कर रहा हूँ या उस तरह से कर रहा हूँ। उन्होंने इस सेवा को परिवार की तरह लिया है। तो प्रभु जी का ये गुण है कि वो यहाँ पर एज अ, ये भक्तों के समूह को एक परिवार की तरह देखते हैं। उसमें अब जब हम परिवार में जाते हैं तो फिर ऑटोमेटिकली हमें बताना नहीं होता कि अगर एक मिनट ओ, तो स्वतः अगर हम फैमिली मेंबर हैं तो स्वतः अपना हृदय देंगे कोई भी कार्य में, परिवार के प्रोग्रेस के लिए, उसके दूसरे फैमिली मेंबर्स के सदस्यों के लिए। तो प्रभु जी में वो है, वो जब भी कुछ भी बनाते हैं तो वो हृदय लगा के बनाते हैं। कई बार फीस्ट होते हैं तो उसमें बहुत सारे, मतलब अकेले ही उनको बहुत कुछ करना पड़ता है, लेकिन कभी भी वो नाराज नहीं हुए। कि बाद में उन्होंने हालांकि कभी बताया है कि मेरी थोड़ी सेवा कम की जाए उस तरह, मगर ऐसा नहीं, उस समय नाराज होके बहुत लोग इस तरह हो जाते हैं। तो प्रभु जी यहाँ पर सबको, सभी भक्तों को एज एक परिवार की तरह देखते हैं, और उसके लिए वो स्वयं, उनको अगर कुछ कष्ट सहने पड़े तो भी वो पीछे नहीं हटते, और अपना हृदय लगा के सभी भक्तों की वो सेवा करते आए हैं कई सालों से। तो प्रभु जी का बहुत बहुत मैं धन्यवाद भी देता हूँ कि वो इस तरह सेवा में लगे हुए हैं। हरे कृष्णा।
जो और कौन बोलिए? विष्णु प्रभु
विष्णु प्रभु जब भी कुकिंग करेंगे तो साथ ही साथ उसमें कीर्तन लगातार सुनेंगे, और स्नान करते समय या जीवन के अलग टाइम या तो वो खुद गाएंगे कीर्तन या फिर अलग अलग कीर्तन सुनेंगे। इस प्रकार अपने मन को भी पूरी सेवा में लगा के रखेंगे। कई अलग अलग तरह के भोग वो भगवान की प्रसन्नता के लिए बनाते हैं, और किसी भी काम को जब वो करते हैं तो पूरी तरह उसमें मग्न हो जाते हैं। जैसे कि हम लोग देखते हैं कि सेवा के टाइम हमेशा पंक्चुअल रोज हमको समय पे प्रसाद मिलता है, तो ये विष्णु प्रभु के लगातार अनुशासन के कारण ही हमको ये संभव हो पाता है। तो आज हम सभी लोग विष्णु प्रभु को धन्यवाद देंगे कि वे कितने प्रेम से हम सभी के लिए, दादा रानी के लिए और भक्तों के लिए प्रसाद बनाते हैं। तो उसके लिए हम सब उनके प्रति बहुत आभारी हैं। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्णा। विष्णु प्रभु एक गुड डिवोटी हैं और सेवा में कोई मतलब कमी नहीं रहता उनका। जो भक्तों के लिए जो करना चाहते हैं वो मन प्राण से करते हैं, और कीर्तन करते हैं, चैंटिंग करते हैं, और सब लोगों को जैसा होता है जो कोई भी काम बोलोगे तो वो कर देता है। कोई आईओएफ या बीआरसी इसके लिए कोई भेदाभेद नहीं रहता। मैं जब नहीं रहता मेरे काम भी वो करते हैं, और गुड डिवोटी हैं, सबके साथ मिलजुल के रहते हैं, बहुत फ्रेंड है, और सबके साथ फ्रेंडली मिलते हैं। सब चाहते हैं, मंदिर में बोलिए बाहर में बोलिए, उनका बहुत फैन है। बस इतना ही। हरे कृष्णा।
विष्णु प्रभु की जय। अभी आपको सेवा का इतना है, सेवा की थोड़ा देर विष्णु आप अरे बोलिए, बांग्ला बोलिए, बांग्ला बोलिए, बांग्ला बोलिए।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। রাজু প্রভু হচ্ছে মানে সব যে যা বলে সবকিছু শুনি। আর কোনো মনে মানে কোনো কিছু নেই। আমি যদি বা কোনো কিছু বলি যে প্রভু এই বাজার থেকে আমার কিছু ফল টল আনতে হবে, যদি না আমার কাছে যদি না কিছু টাকা পয়সা থাকে উনি বলবে ঠিক আছে তুমি পরে দিয়ে দেবে। আর আর উনি আমার সব কথাবার্তা শুনে উনি খুব ভালো। রাজু প্রভু, থ্যাংক ইউ।
और जैसा भी कोई भी मदद चाहिए होता है तो उनको बोल देने से वो हमेशा ही हेल्प करते हैं। अगर आप मंगवाते हैं बाजार से और मान लीजिए आपके पास पैसे भी नहीं, आपको पैसे भी नहीं होते तो अपने जेब से लगा के लेके आएंगे, कोई मना नहीं करेंगे कोई सेवा के लिए। हमेशा कोई किसी तरीके से कर लेते हैं।
हरे कृष्णा। राजू प्रभु के साथ वेरी फॉर्चुनेट टू गेट, अच्छा हिंदी में बोलते हैं, राजू प्रभु के साथ मेरा संग करने का बहुत ही वेरी सौभाग्य है। एक बार राजू प्रभु को मैं ऐसे ही पूछा कि क्योंकि मेरे को कोरोना हुआ था और काफी आप लोगों को पता है कि 3 हफ्ते तो क्वारंटाइन था। तो उस समय कोई भी वैष्णव का संग मुझे नहीं मिल रहा था, सिवाय एक वैष्णव की। और ये जो आते थे, सुबह आते थे और शाम को आते थे, तो इट वाज रियली उनसे मिलने का बहुत अच्छा लगता था। खास कर बात ये है कि फिर उसके बाद, ओपनली बोल रहा हूँ, उसके बाद मैंने एक बार राजू को बोला कि इतनी सेवा की उन्होंने, तो मुझे लगा कि राजू प्रभु के लिए मुझे भी कुछ करना चाहिए। मैं राजू गुरु को एक बार पूछा कि प्रभु जी, आपके लिए कुछ, मैं आपको कुछ दे सकता हूँ? तो बोला कि कुछ आपको, आई गिव सम लक्ष्मी। तो एक्चुअली इनका जो रिएक्शन था, इट वाज स्ट्राइकिंग फॉर मी, बिकॉज बेसिकली he directly actually said that he cannot take it at all. And the way वो जैसे बोले, उससे मुझे लग गया कि मतलब he really doesn't want at all, and he actually he said that अगर मैंने लक्ष्मी ले ली तो मतलब कि मेरी सेवा खत्म हो गई। It's a big thing to say that. So it was मतलब मेरे को, और उसके बाद में मैंने जब मैंने इंसिस्ट किया तो ले लिए, बोले लेकिन मैं इसीलिए लूंगा कि मैं अपने घर में गोपाल जी की सेवा करूंगा, इससे बस। It was very very special thing for me to see. So बाद में मैंने उनको पूछा भी कि आपका आगे का क्या करना चाहते, बोलते लाइफ में एकदम सिंपल रहना चाहता हूँ और सिर्फ आगे जाकर जस्ट सिंपल नौकरी करूंगा, और ऐसा नहीं कि कोई बहुत क्योंकि ये एक्चुअली ये है मास्टर, ही हैज डन हिज बैचलर्स एंड मास्टर्स आई थिंक, बट ही इनका गोल ये है कि ये सिंपल लाइफ जीना चाहते हैं एकदम, और ऐसा नहीं कि कोई, so this is such a big thing for us. I mean, for me personally, I mean, I still have all of so many desires and aspirations. And आगे जाके मैं बोला आगे जाके क्या करेंगे, बोलते आगे जाके बस गोपाल जी की सेवा करने का मन है। And he will only serve in ISKCON. I mean, now so we have a devotee like this in our hands, which is many other qualities have written, so soft-spoken and very intelligent. He's actually very intelligent. He can, Pranjal Prabhu and all, I'm sure all of us know, very intelligent. और एक आवाज पूरे BRC में काफी बार गूंजती रहती है, राजू प्रभु राजू प्रभु राजू प्रभु। So you can see how much he is one. Hare Krishna. Yes, yes, yes.
हरे कृष्णा। तो मैं ये कुछ प्रभु जी के गुणगान के साथ ही अपनी कृतज्ञता व्यक्त भी करूंगा कि मैं भी बीमार हुआ था पिछले साल, तो सही में ये मतलब अगर मुझे लगता है मेरे परिवार वाले या संबंधी लोग भी होते, वो भी उस तरह नहीं कर पाते, वो भी पीछे चले जाते। जितना जूठी प्लेट्स प्रभु जी धोना, कपड़े धोना, उस समय में बिल्कुल भी चल नहीं पा रहा था, बहुत ज्यादा फीवर हो गया था। फिर कहीं से भी दवाई मंगाना, कहीं से भी बकरी का दूध लाके देते थे। कई बार प्रभु जी भी गए थे, 1-2 बार, बहुत दूर पार्क में जाना होता था। तो उसके लिए मैं सही में प्रभु जी को प्रणाम करूंगा कि इस तरह मैंने कल्पना भी नहीं की थी कोई ऐसे मतलब कर सकता है किसी की। इवन फैमिली मेंबर्स इरिटेट हो जाते हैं कई बार की इस तरह। तो और इसके अलावा मैं बता दूं कि प्रभु जी का जो रोल है वो हालांकि ऑलराउंडर है वो वैसे तो, लेकिन देखने से नहीं लगता। तो प्रभु जी इज BSc, प्रभु जी ने BSc कर रखी है, लेकिन फिर भी कभी उनके व्यवहार से, उनकी सेवा से ऐसा लगा नहीं कि वो इतने क्वालिफाइड होंगे। चाहे उनको कुछ भी सेवा दो, गेट खोलने का, टॉयलेट क्लीनिंग का, कुछ भी मीनियल से मीनियल सर्विस, कभी उन्होंने ऐसा नहीं सोचा मैं BSc हूँ या इस तरह इतना क्वालिफाइड हूँ। तो प्रभु जी बहुत ही यस यस प्रभु जी बहुत डाउन टू अर्थ हैं। दूसरा प्रसादम के मामले में प्रभु जी बहुत ही डिटैच्ड हैं। वो कभी ऐसा नहीं सोचते मैं पहले जाके ले लूं, क्या आइटम खत्म हो जाएंगे। उनको कई बार बोला गया, मैं पहले किचन देखता था कि प्रसाद खत्म हो जाता है, आप ले लीजिए। बोले ठीक है, जो बचेगा, जो भगवान की इच्छा होगी वो मैं लूंगा, और वो ऐसा करते भी थे। कभी उन्होंने ऐसा मतलब डिटैच हैं, काफी डिटैच होके वो सेवा करते हैं। बस उनको सेवा से मतलब है, बाकी खाने पीने, मान सम्मान, किस तरह की सेवा बोली जा रही है, कब बोली जा रही है, अपना सुख। कई बार वो 11 बजे तक भी सोते थे और सुबह में ही कोई 4 बजे गेस्ट आ रहा होता था, उसके लिए भी उन्हें उठना है, और रात 11 बजे कोई घुसा है उसके लिए भी उन्हें वेट करना है। तो वो पूरा डेडिकेटेडली सेवा के लिए ही वो लगे हुए हैं प्रभु जी। मान सम्मान, सुख दुख और वो सब कुछ नहीं देखते वो। तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद राजू प्रभु का, सभी भक्तों की तरफ से सबके लिए उन्होंने कुछ ना कुछ लाया है, मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है। किसी ने कुछ मंगाया ही है उनसे, दवाई, फल या IVF की चीजें, DTs की चीजें, कुछ ना कुछ। हरे कृष्णा, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद राजू प्रभु। जय राजू प्रभु और प्रभु विष्णु प्रभु के लिए एक बार जोर से हरे कृष्ण करेंगे, ताकि वो बहुत जल्दी एडवांस करें और जल्दी भगवत धाम पहुंचे इसी जन्म के बाद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। राजू प्रभु की, विष्णु प्रभु की। कितने सारे क्लाइंट्स तैयार हैं। Okay, next, who is speaking? Who? About whom? Now we can go with the name. Guy. So, yes, please,
Hare Krishna. So, I've been observing Vasant Prabhu since 8 years. We were in same section in first year. So, very closely observing since the beginning of voice days. And I've seen that he has consistently exhibited qualities like austerity. So, he is very keen towards being austere. He does even fasting in Ekadashi, doesn't eat anything sometimes, and sometimes till night he doesn't eat anything. Sometimes it becomes so much that it becomes difficult for him to tolerate, but still he does it. And for many months or maybe years he did not eat any sweet. So very austere person. And he is very his sincerity in bhakti is very inspiring, and his dealings with his parents is very mature. His mother is even chanting 16 rounds daily, and she is visiting temple and reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and he knows the art of taking shelter of seniors. I mean, expressing his weakness or taking shelter also needs humility. So he knows that art and communicating his feelings to others. So all these things. And he takes chastisements also very positively. And therefore Maharaj Prabhu openly in classes and in meet gatherings, he openly chastises Vasant Prabhu because he has confidence that he will not take it in a negative spirit. So this is a very good quality. Haribo.
So next they would.
Hare Krishna. So Vasant Prabhu is a very friendly and humorous devotee. He acts in a very friendly way, although he's 2 years senior to me, but he is always very friendly, and sometimes I also deal with him like an equal, but he never feels offended. He is a very humble person, and he has mastery over slokas. Matlab, he knows many slokas, and whenever in a class the speaker has problem in reciting sloka, he recites them, and he knows many slokas, and he is very focused and absorbed whatever he does. I mean, in class also he asks many questions which I'm not able to understand how he thinks. Well, but he asks very deep questions, uh, and while reading Srila Prabhupada books, also he contemplates on every sloka a long time before going to the next one, and he is a lover of prasadam. Haribol.
Next. Hare Krishna, it's my good fortune to glorify Vasant Prabhu, as oceanic qualities have already been told. So, one thing I have observed that Prabhuji has a very innocent heart, as other devotees told that he never, like he deals friendly, and he never takes any chastisement from seniors or with grudges or other things. So this is because he has a very innocent heart. I'll share one incident. Once we were discussing, Prabhuji is into business. He's going to start some business very soon. so, so, so we were discussing what business should we try. So it came that some business they cannot be started in Kolkata. The crowd was not good for those business. So I was hesitating that how can I say that I have to leave Kolkata and go to other places. But Prabhuji actually needs some money. Prabhuji will enter in the ashram very soon. So Prabhuji very innocent and with such expression, I cannot explain. He told, Prabhuji, मैं तो चला जाऊंगा. So like I was hesitating. How can somebody say leaving colleagues or this? So but with innocent, simple heart, Prabhuji just expressed his desires. So but I don't know whether I'm able to explain it with those feelings. Second is Prabhuji, as Prabhuji told, sincerity of sadhana. So Prabhuji has sacrificed many things without even knowing that when his business will start. Prabhuji left it because he was having some problems in his previous job. His sadhana or other things were not good. So for bhakti, he gave up that job, and now he is struggling. But so we should pray, and also I thank him and pray that he very soon gets settled. Hari Bol. So next is our dear Surajpu. So those devotees who will glorify.
Hare Krishna. So, it's the great fortune to glorify Suraj Guru, because he has the quality which I do not have at all. So I aspire for all those qualities. One thing is that he is very extending and ready to accept any seva. And when I was looking after so whenever there was some ad hoc seva, then the first person I used to approach was Suraj Guru. And he would always accept those sevas. So in that way, he was always, means he's always ready to go out of the way to serve the devotees. May it be purchasing the repairing the stranger, or the toilet was through the toilet wall that water was seeping out. So if you would have called someone from outside, he would have charged 500 to 800 or 1,000 rupees. But Prabhuji, he himself did it all. So in this way, and he's very eager to preach also. This second part, I'll finish after this. So I'll give one example that means once in beginning when I came from Pune, when I shifted here, so I used to go for some time for sabji purchasing. So once I went with him, so I could observe that how much he has desire to preach. It is not official, or it is not something that means is naturally coming out from his heart. So he was asking Sabjiwala to chant the holy name. He was writing. He himself wrote Hare Krishna Mantra in his diary, and he was asking him to chant it daily. So like it was natural. This never happened to me. So these two qualities, I am really touched by these two qualities of him. Right.
So, by the way, we should try that we will surprise him. We can, so we are making husband of self also. But I think in the end, if we can get this done, like what after people have spoken, we can. Because we have some of the 3 points.
I think he can tell like what are the 2 qualities.
I think before we move to other devotees, maybe we can say, okay, these are 3 points. Before we move to other, only for this particular one, somebody will have.
Next devotee is good. Krishna. So one thing devotees like about Suraj Prabhu is that he is a very good singer. When he sings, then he becomes absorbed and such ragas and such melodies. So and he sings for Lord, like आँख बंद करके फिर चालू हो गया गा दे. And especially I think from childhood only he sings these chopais of Ramcharitmanas, so that also he knows very expertly, and he has a heart for pleasing devotees. Any inconvenience any devotee faces, first thing they will approach Suraj, oh iska kya karna hai? So and he yesterday only I was in need of some medicine, so Poji was willing to go to bring medicine and till Lansdowne market and like that. So and he is very expert in reading Srila Prabhupada books. Very slowly he reads and takes out the points for application. And most amazing quality is that he is expert in dealing with anybody, devotee, non-devotee, or whoever. He very expert. Yes, very well.
Hare Krishna. Suraj Prabhu is a very loving and caring person. He is very helpful. During last year rainy season, while I was sick, Suraj Prabhu helped me in bringing medicines, and also he helped me in conducting blood test. Office he never asked money, and and because of his loving and caring nature, he has many connections in temple and Mayapur. So if any devotee need Mahaprasadam while he is going home, so they approach Suraj Prabhu and he arranges prasadam for them. And he also has a very strong zeal for preaching. Because of his such loving and caring attitude, generally people hear his philosophy, whatever he says, and generally start taking to chanting and everything. In his home, many people chant 16 round, his uncles, his mother, father, and many person. And even they stopped eating onion and garlic also. And maybe because he's because of his preaching and his dealings toward Vaishnav, he has a special taste in kirtan. Especially when he sings Mangal Arati with his eyes closed, that creates a special effect. And is always he can always be seen discussing Srila Prabhupada books, some slokas, and people.
We have less time, but we had a great fortune. Suraj Prabhu is the original sevak of the Bhaktivedanta Research Center, the first person from the ISKCON Youth Forum here, the Gita Bhavan Dham. When since Gaurang Prabhu took over, we wanted obviously somebody who can really because the place was pretty dark in the sense that we didn't have many people to serve here. Whatever Hariswari Prabhu had become sick, so we needed somebody who was really like shining bright. So who better to get but the Suraj son himself. So Prabhuji started and very enthusiastically worked for more than a year and a half, 2 years, yeah, full 2 years, yeah. For 2 years, Prabhuji was working very hard. All that you see in the museum, the Bhaktivedanta, you see the museum exhibit kind of area towards everything primarily led by Suraj Prabhu and any of the other admin developments that have happened is very enthusiastic. It seems like gravity doesn't work much against him because he's jumping, he's dancing, and his seva also like that. Very, very nice. So I've gained a lot of energy and inspiration from serving Vishnu, who laid, looking with his example now, so many others are also coming forward to serve at the BRC. So thank you for leading this seva, very important seva, in a dedicated way. Hari Bol. Jai Grace.
Yeah. So very consistently he's practicing harmonium. That harmonium he has purchased few years back. I came to know. I was thinking somehow it was there, but he purchased just to learn. And one thing is learning, and another thing is learning in such a way that others are getting inspired to learn. Hari Bol.
Anything you want to summarize quickly? We lost summarize prominent after the discussion. Everybody should observe and see.
So,
Summarize really based on what we have heard.
so first is like he is very loving and caring, and second is he is natural preacher, and and natural preacher, and he is expert kirtaniya, kirtan leader.
Okay, Vaishnav को अपन summarize करें.
He is very austere from many years consistently. And he has no malice in heart. That is why he can take shelter also of senior devotees, and he can take their chastisements positively. And he is very he is a good taste for prasadam. He is a prasadam lover. Very. So next, Vinu Prabhu, we will be glorifying Vinu Prabhu, those devotees who wants.
Hare Krishna. So Vinu Prabhu is a very kind and helpful devotee. From voice days, he used to help me in coding, and when I came to Gita Bhavan, he helped me with freelancing projects. But his attitude is always helpful. He always helps without expecting anything in return, and he has a very good good connection with devotees and the boys he used to preach. Now also the boys are connected with him, and during weekends he reads Srila Prabhupada books with them and discusses philosophy with them. In one lecture I heard that there is a cow effect, that when you associate with cow, you come to mode of goodness. So likewise, when you associate with Binu Bro, you suddenly come to mode of goodness. He is always in goodness, and sometimes he produces sound also like cows. And he is very diligent in his services. Sometimes because of office work, he has to clean vessels late at night, but he never does it just to skip the service. He cleans the floor properly. He does everything very properly, and he is also very attentive in class. He's never gossiping, and he is always making the notes properly, sitting in front of the class. Very well.
The first thing he spoke about Binu Bro was that he's very helpful, always in helpful mode to all devotees. The second one is he is in mode of goodness. They're just like cow effect. Anybody who comes in company with Binu Bro also comes to mode of goodness. And third is that he is very meticulous in his services. He never cuts corner. Even if it is late night, he does his services meticulously. And the fourth one was he's very attentive in classes, makes notes, and doesn't gossip. So, Hare Krishna. So Binu Prabhu is from the beginning. We have been observing him that he was. From the beginning, it was very clear why he came to Krishna consciousness, what he wants with life. Very clear to him what is the purpose of life. Therefore, you can see his steadiness in his Krishna consciousness. And you can see that he identifies himself with devotee society. And therefore, whatever he does outside is just like formality. He is very responsible in his work, but you will see that, like from his symptoms, like he sits shaven-headed in front of his office meetings. So you can understand on the where his identification belongs. And secondly, he is a very, very happy devotee. Very jolly devotee. If you associate with him, you also become happy. And he also has very nice relationships with devotees, and especially he has a very good partnership with Pranjal Prabhu. Very good. Next time I will glorify you. So, just so Binu Prabhu तो मेरे लिए एक पथ प्रदर्शक गुरु की तरह है, क्योंकि because I was connected late to the system of voice and ISKCON. Basically, I was connected in February or March. So मैं तो अपने दोस्त के रूम पे था, तो वो कह रहा था कि एक फाइनल ईयर के सर आते हैं, which very humble and थोड़ा भगवद गीता के बारे में बताते हैं ये सब. तो when प्रभु जी came, he was so simple and इतना साधारण और दिख रहे थे. I was taking that his first year only. तो फिर उसने फिर बोला कि आदर्श ने कि his final year there sir. मैं कहा सर, but उन्होंने बहुत ही बिना किसी मतलब हृदय में किसी रंज के या वैसे में उसको लिया और मेरे से बहुत अच्छे से बात की.
तो मैं अभिमान में कुछ भगवत गीता के श्लोक भी सुनाया, लेकिन फिर उन्होंने कहा कि आप अपना नंबर दीजिए, हम आपको कनेक्ट करेंगे। तो उसके बाद भी प्रभु ने बहुत ख्याल रखा, और उसके बाद तो अंकित प्रभु फैसिलिटेटर की तरह रहे हमारे। तो बीनू प्रभु के बारे में एक कम एसोसिएट किया, पर एक इंसिडेंट बताना चाहूंगा जिसने रियली मेरे को टच किया। एक्चुअली मैं पहले एक बाबा जी थे कृपालू जी महाराज, तो उनके वीडियो सुनता था, उनको फॉलो करता था। तो मैंने ग्रुप में डाला उनको वीडियो, तो दुर्गेशपुर ने मुझे उससे निकाल दिया था। लेकिन मैंने फिर मेरा आदित्य नारायण प्रभु से डिस्कशन भी हुआ कि नहीं नहीं ऐसा ऐसा। तो फिर जब मतलब हम इग्नोरेंस में रहते हैं और कोई हमसे हायर चीजें बात करना हम सुनना नहीं चाहते, पर बीनू प्रभु ने जो जवाब दिया उसके बाद कि देखिए हो सकता है कि और भी संस्था में शुद्ध भक्त हों और हाई एलिवेटेड लोग हों, लेकिन आप ऐसा हम नहीं कह रहे हैं, लेकिन हमारा ऐसा वो है। तो एक जो मध्यस्थता और एक उसकी बात किया मेच्योर कि इग्नोरेंट पर्सन को कैसे समझाना चाहिए, तो वो रियली में टच किया। और इसके लिए मैं हमेशा जीवन भर कृतज्ञ रहूंगा, और श्री श्री राधा गोविंद से और जगन्नाथ गौर निताई से यही प्रार्थना करूंगा कि प्रभु जल्दी ही जल्दी इस जन्म के बाद ही भगवत धाम पहुंच जाएं। हरे बोल।
So he is a jolly devotee, and he has very nice relationships, and he is very mature in dealing with others, especially preaching new boys. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So next we will glorify Ankit through our dear Ankit through, so devotees. So one thing that devotee can remember that कि time बहुत ही कम है, और तो बहुत ही जल्दी और पॉइंट टू पॉइंट बात कहेंगे। सो अंकित प्रभु, हम पहले बीनू प्रभु से ही शुरुआत करना चाहिए।
Ankit Prabhu is very simple and Ankit Prabhu is very simple in dealings and truthful. Whatever is inside comes outside. Matlab, and he is undisturbed to public opinion. Matlab, he is very determined. Whatever he decides, he does it. And he is very eager to advance. Like he was telling that when he was in final year, his job, when he got job after that, he used to chant 32 rounds and every day and read Srila Prabhupada books for 2 hours. And very detached person from family relations and all.
So next devotee.
Ankit Pro is a very jolly person. He did a lot of services in voice, but here he is so simple here, very normal, down to earth, and he's very meticulous in seva. Like he was telling that kitchen को कितना भी साफ करे वो साफ नहीं होता है, but then when he was given that service, he cleaned that switchboard very nicely. Both of the switchboards, meticulous, and he's a very straightforward person. Like Bhudevi glorifies Krishna as straightforward. Similarly, Proji, like when we were discussing in some and once at one time that मतलब थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे हो रहा था, मतलब दूसरा devotee के ऊपर comment मारा, he's a senior devotee, and then Proji immediately cut it there that we should not be talking like this. It should be like a proper etiquette and respect, because after all, he's a senior devotee. So he's very straightforward in the following these etiquettes, respecting senior devotees. Hari Bol.
Next, I will be glorifying Prabhu because after Binu Prabhu was my facilitator, and Prabhu ने बहुत ही मैच्योर वे में फैसिलिटेट किया, स्पेस देते हुए और समय देते हुए, तो मुझे याद है जब मैं बाहर जाता था, एक्चुअली कुछ दोस्तों को मैंने पार्टी दी थी तो उनसे पुराना हिसाब किताब चुकता करना था। तो इसीलिए तो वॉइस में आने के बाद भी कुछ समय तक मैं वो रिकवर करने के लिए जाता था। तो एक दिन प्रभु ने मुझे एक स्टोरी सुनाई और मैंने सुना नहीं था कभी बिल्वा मंगल ठाकुर की स्टोरी। सो उन्होंने जिस अंदाज से और जिस तरीके से कहा, विभू प्रभु इधर आइए आपको, तो सो बहुत ही शानदार तरीके से और बहुत ही अच्छे से सुनाया। और उसका एक डीप इम्प्रेशन रहा मुझे, अभी तक भी वो याद है। और बिल्वा मंगल ठाकुर की स्टोरी, तो उन्होंने पूछा भी था कि आपने सुना है इससे पहले या नहीं, तो उसी हिसाब से बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण रहा। और VTW STW में बहुत तरीके से हेल्प करना, और मुझे उनका एक विटी नेचर जो है, बहुत ही हर बात पे जो एक जोक क्रैक करते हैं तुरंत और इंस्टेंट, वो बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है। और शायद इसी ये वन ऑफ द क्वालिटीज दैट एवरी डिवोटी लव्स, दैट इज वेरी विटी पर्सन एंड इज वंडरफुल डिवोटी। और भी बहुत से इंसिडेंट हैं, जैसे कि VTW में जब सेवा करने का बहुत उत्साह रहता है, तब इन्होंने मुझे किचन के बर्तन साफ करने की सेवा में लगाया, जिससे रियली में पता चला कि भक्त वास्तव में बैकग्राउंड में कितना सेवा करते हैं। और उसका एक इमोशनल इफेक्ट भी रहा, जिसके कारण से आगे मैं भक्ति में और अधिक कंटिन्यू किया। सो मैं अपने हृदय से श्री राधा गोविंद देव और जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा गौर निताय से ही प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि प्रभु का बहुत ही जल्दी भक्ति में एडवांस करें और जल्दी इस जन्म में भगवत नाम वर्षे। हरि बोल। So summarizing three qualities, he is very straightforward and determined towards sadhana, and he is a nice facilitator. Hari Bol. So next we will glorifying our dear Durgesh Fu. So the devotee first is
हरे कृष्णा। सो जब भी मतलब प्रभु जी के बारे में मैं सोचता हूँ, तो जब मैं पहले यहाँ पे आया था गीता भवन में, तो बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेट था मैं। मतलब घर से इतना दूर आया हूँ, तो बहुत सारा मन में प्रश्न था और बहुत डाउट था। तो प्रभु जी को मतलब जब भी ऐसे अप्रोचिंग करता था, कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछता था, तो मतलब अच्छे से रिप्लाई करते थे, बहुत काइंडली डीलिंग करते थे मुझसे। तो कभी भी ऐसा नहीं लगा कि टाइम का मतलब अभाव है। वो टाइम दिया मेरे को, अच्छे से गाइड किया। और प्रभु जी का मतलब एक तीनों क्वालिटी अच्छा लगता है, और इसको मैं एक्रोनिम बोलता हूँ, KMP। इज वेरी काइंडनेस एंड मॉडेस्टी एंड प्रीचिंग। वो इन तीनों चीज में बहुत अच्छे है। सो यही है।
Subhajit Prabhu will be glorifying Guruji.
हरे कृष्णा। हम जब यहाँ पे पहली बार आया, पता नहीं था कहाँ पे रहेंगे नहीं रहेंगे। हम जस्ट फोन किया शुभम प्रभु को, शिवम प्रभु को। उसने बोला ठीक है जाओ, आपको गीता भवन कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगा आपका रहने की। आके पहले मतलब फोन किया प्रभु को, फोन थोड़ा सा बिजी था। उसके बाद बहुत बार मतलब हमको फोन किया, कहाँ हो नहीं हो, कुछ प्रसाद लिया नहीं लिया, वो मतलब बहुत कुछ पूछा हमको। आपके उसके बाद कुछ टाइम बाद में रात के टाइम आया न्यू टाउन से, आके तुरंत हमने किया। प्रभु ने बहुत खुश हुआ, हम भी देख के बहुत मतलब अच्छा लगा। उसके बाद प्रभु आया यहाँ पे, कोई किसी को पता नहीं, पहचान नहीं है पहले। शिवम प्रभु नहीं है, दीपक प्रभु नहीं है, कोई नहीं है। उसके बाद इतना अच्छा हमको मतलब कोई बोरिंगनेस फील नहीं किया यहाँ पे आके। मतलब हम जो 4 साल काटा के आया यहाँ पे कानपुर से, या इतना अच्छा खुश नहीं मिला, इतना पता नहीं था इतना अच्छा डिवोटी मतलब हो सकता है यहाँ पे। वो अच्छा मतलब फील किया हम यहाँ पे। और जो हम देखा ड्यूटीफुल मतलब वो जो काम देखता है प्रभु को, अच्छा वो काम करते हैं वो अपने से वो। और जो टीचिंग हमने देखा, मेरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट है बांकुड़ा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, प्रभु ने बहुत अच्छा से मतलब पिचिंग कर रहे हो वहाँ पे, हमने फोन किया कुछ प्रभु को, बोला बहुत अच्छा लग रहे, चैंटिंग वगैरह कर रहे वहाँ से अभी, ये आप बहुत अच्छा है, मतलब पिच कर रहे प्रभु ने। थैंक यू प्रभु के, थैंक यू। Hare Krishna, I'm very fortunate again to glorify dear Durgesh Pro. So, one quality I have observed, that is in Hindi, it is called Tatparta. So, which means doing things as soon as possible, do not delaying them. So, he has mastery in that Tatparta. Krishna has blessed him with that. And because of that, he can manage things very nicely, and he can manage his sadhana also. He is very pakka in sadhana. So I heard that when he was in voice days in his college, he was maintaining some Excel sheets, and he was measuring each and every activity, like 20 minutes for Veding or 30 minutes for this. Then he was how much time for preaching, and he was managing in such a way that he gives more and more time for sadhana and for preaching. I heard he skipped his dinners for taking new wives, and because of his endeavors and sacrifices, many people, they got benefited, they got connected to Srila Prabhupada's movement. And he is practicing bhakti by heart, not by show or in a passion or just in a flow seeing others. He knows philosophy very well. He hears lectures of Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, who really go deep in philosophy, and whatever he speaks, he go really deep. So he knows philosophy very well, and he is practicing by heart, not with anybody's influence or influence of anything. Hari Bol. Thank you very much, Durgesh. Hare Krishna.
There's one thing I want to say about Prabhu, that when I see Prabhu, I feel that he has such a great attachment to Srila Prabhupada, his lectures, his words, and he identifies with ISKCON movement and missionary work so much. So I wish that I may also get some drop of that. Haribo. So just to summarize points about Prabhu.
Maybe I also wanted to say one quick thing at least. Durgesh Prabhu is a very nice and sweet smile. Every time I come at the BRC, and it's a very special smile. It's tiny smile. But the way it comes across is like, wow, heartwarming. So, devotees can have such a wonderful gesture. I'll say quickly about because many of the devotees not much interacted, but I'll just at least say one quick point. Ankit Prabhu is so grave person. I would like to learn some gravity from him. Very, at least वैसे इतना interaction नहीं किया हूँ, लेकिन I can see that मेरे को तो बड़ करने की जरूरत है. He is a grave person. You can learn gravity from people who are much हमसे बहुत छोटे उम्र पे, लेकिन and Binu Prabhu, I learned just by observing him. मेरे को लगता मैं कुछ भी रीडिंग नहीं करता हूँ, मेरे को रीडिंग का कुछ भी था, but Binu Prabhu, like I was saying, he's doing his job and everything, but I'll keep observing all the time that he is so much deeply absorbed in reading the Shastras in the coming every day, and for so many hours. So I was thinking, यार ये इतना पढ़ सकते तो मैं भी थोड़ा कुछ पढ़ने की कोशिश करता. So such a very nice, inspiring qualities from all these wonderful devotees. Hare Krishna.
So devotees are in good mood now, so I can ask for forgiveness. So, so means I know I always commit mistakes and offenses knowingly. I won't say that unknowing offenses. Knowingly, I commit offenses because of my conditioning and everything. So this nice opportunity I have that devotees can forgive me for any offenses I have committed, and bless me that I can develop some quality so I can be a good instrument in the mission of Srila Prabhupada.
He is very kind and gives family atmosphere.
to new devotees, whoever comes to Gita Bhavan. Hari Bol. And he is a very good preacher. He sacrifices a lot for preaching. Hari Bol. And he has a sweet short smile. Hari Bol. So, Jai. Next, we will glorifying Vikas Prabhu, the new devotees.
Vikas Prabhu is very sincere in bhakti. For years and years, he was connected through online preaching. So maintaining consistency, staying at home, and getting accustomed to very new things and bhakti is very difficult. But for 3-4 years continuously, Vikas Prabhu maintained his enthusiasm and interest. And when he came to association of devotees, it was like dry grass catching fire. So from day one, Vikas Prabhu used to get up very early, and he has some targets like studies and all. But despite all that, he is always inquisitive to progress simultaneously in his spiritual life also. And when we went to Mayapur, we could see his love for the Dham, devotees, and everything. So many things we have to learn from Vikas Prabhu. Hari Bol.
So next, Divya, who is not there. Subhojit. हरे कृष्णा. बीकेस प्रभु बारे में बात करने के लिए बहुत मौका मिला है, वो बहुत फॉर्चुनेट है. मतलब यहाँ पे जब आया तो दुर्गेश प्रभु बहुत सारे डिवोटीज था. उसके बाद भी मेरा जो एक इतना क्विकली एक फ्रेंड, मतलब बहुत सारे बात, मतलब एक सेम एज का है, तो पता नहीं था इस टाइप का फ्रेंड मिल जाएगा यहाँ पे आसाम से आके इतना जल्दी से. हम तो 4 साल 4 साल का हॉस्टल पे था, बट इतना अच्छा, इतना क्विकली एक फ्रेंड होता है, वो डिवोटीज होता है, मतलब पता नहीं था. इस यहाँ पे आके इतना अच्छा नम्र व्यवहार है इसका, मतलब बहुत अच्छा, बहुत क्वालिटीज हम देखा हुआ से, अच्छा लगा बहुत कुछ. थैंक यू. हरि बोल. So next, Durgesh Pu. Divya Pu is not there, but can Durgesh Pu?
Hare Krishna. As Ranjal Prabhu was saying that one thing is that he prioritized association. That's why. Otherwise, what he's doing here, he could have done there also. And this is one thing. And next thing is very, he's very inquisitive and ready to ask the question, whatever problems he's facing. And he's also very enthusiastic in preaching also. Many times he comes and he asks that how to connect this kind of devotees. So his father he's beginning to attend Maharaj Prabhu's classes, and he's always asking that I have some friend like this, how can I connect him to Krishna consciousness like that. So although because of his preparation, CS preparation, so he's quite busy with that, but means he has that zeal for preaching and to do seva. And he was saying also that once I become CS, I will preach very enthusiastically.
Hare Krishna. Vikas Prabhu, he is very eager to learn things, especially philosophy also, and many other practical things also. So I have seen when they play lectures, how deeply like intimately they discuss it. So it's like they are going deep, and they pause also in between. So I was saying you discuss at last, but they were saying, Prabhuji, the points are so good, and so we should not forget. So that is why we immediately discuss. And whatever services he does, he sees the ultimate end, which is pleasure of Krishna. He doesn't do it just because he has been told to do so. So he cleans this temple hall almost 5 days a week. So he was not touching those things with the broom. So he was saying it will not be good. So
actually he was not skipping that area, thinking that, oh, this broom is not so pure, so I should not. So he was thinking like the pleasure of Lord and everything, how much respect and deals with those things. So he sees the pleasure of devotees and Lord at the end of the service. Hari Bol. So he is very enthusiastic in preaching and Hari Bol. And he is very enthusiastic to take association. That is why he has come here, and he is, as Prabhuji told, he is like catching dry grass, catching fire. And he is very eager to learn new things.
So now we will be glorifying our dear Pranjal Prabhu. So the devotees who will be glorifying Pranjal Prabhu. Visham.
We can have some more participation from this side of the room.
Pranjal Prabhu is highly able in execution.
Why are you worried you can participate? I'm okay with that. It will be a little rush in the end. That's for sure. I'm okay. You want to do it tomorrow? There were 25 minutes only. I don't know if I so at 99:50. 25 minutes है इतने लोग बचे कितने 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 When you find out Dunesh है प्रसादम का status तो वो चलेगा नीचे वो एक 15 दिन से प्रसादम का status तो that is a tight हो रहा है Yeah, I thought that 9:58 was but 9:58 is a great sentence.
Hare Krishna. So coming back, Pranjal Prabhu is highly able in execution and he is highly able in communication and in planning. Able in communication and planning, very meticulous in terms of these things, and yet very humble, not quarrel picking, and that pride is not there ki I'm doing so much, I can do so much. And despite his talents, he's not so career oriented. Despite all his talents, because he could have been in much more higher positions and much more prestigious positions. But he wants to pursue this Krishna consciousness seriously. So he's engaging all his talents and abilities, directing all of them in the service of lordships with sincerity and simplicity. Hari Bol.
Binu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Anil Boy is very like simple, childlike simplicity, and he is very enthusiastic for any services, especially services which are given by senior devotees. He is very enthusiastic for pleasing senior devotees, and very friendly with his juniors and equals. And third quality is he is very eager to advance. So we see that he is doing Nirjal Ekadasis, chanting more rounds, and he has read like volumes of books on Srila Prabhupada's pastimes and books written by Srila Prabhupada disciples. So whoever comes near to Pranjal Prabhu, he always has something to share to devotees, Krishna conscious pastimes of like that. Hari Bol.
So next, anyone else want to glorify? So Durgesh, who is not there, Prabhu.
So Pranjal Bru was introduced to Krishna consciousness by his friend Aditya Narayan Bru. And the very first day Bru came to voice, he washed vessels. And Damodar Govind Bru was very happy. Bru, we have got a well-wisher who washes pots. So Bru is very hardworking, very committed to whatever he takes up, and doesn't give up easily. Very, very hardworking. And he's encyclopedia of pastimes. You can ask about Brahmanand Bru, Yamuna Mataji, Srila Prabhupada, Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya. He's very resourceful person. He knows how to get things. And what I learned from him is that we should only focus on our strengths. When we should not bother about our weaknesses. Okay, we should develop our strengths and cultivate them for service of Krishna. Hari Hari.
So 3%. So now the summarization.
Pro is very qualified yet very humble, and he is encyclopedia of pastimes, which means he is a sincere sadhaka, as Vinu Pro told. He reads a lot. He reads Srila Prabhupada books and books from his disciples. And we should cultivate our strengths and not focus too much on our weaknesses. Engage our strength in Krishna's service. Hari Bol. So Prabhu, आगे यहाँ से कंटिन्यू करने होगा. नहीं अभी ऑफरिंग नहीं हुआ है. वो ऑफरिंग डिवोटी है. अगर ऑफरिंग का होगा तो वो उनके जाने के बाद ही मतलब ऑफरिंग करने का So किधर से करना है? Okay. So next we will glorifying our dear Subhajit Prabhu. So devotees, Hare Krishna.
This is the real prasad. The nectar which is coming from the qualities of the real prasad.
हरे कृष्णा. तो जब मैंने यहाँ पे आया था गीता भवन में पहली बार, तो मतलब काफी सारे मतलब सीनियर डिवोटी थे, तो मतलब थोड़ा मतलब एज ग्रुप का थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम होता था. तो मतलब जब वो आए, सुभाषित प्रभु आए, तो बहुत अच्छा लगा उनसे बात करने. और जब भी हमारा कुछ डाउट होता था, ऐसा मतलब मन में कुछ शंका होता था, उसके साथ बात करने में थोड़ा मतलब शंका दूर हो जाता था, अच्छा लगता था उसके. मतलब आई एम वेरी फॉर्चुनेट टू एसोसिएट विथ सुभाजित प्रभु। और मतलब उसका मतलब सिंपलिसिटी जो है बहुत, हिज वेरी काइंडनेस, इज वेरी सिंपल, अच्छा लगा वो बड़ी बोल।
So next, Pranjal Prabhu.
Shubhajit Prabhu, whatever service we tell, Shubhajit Prabhu is very meticulous to do services on time. At the same time, Shubhajit Prabhu works very hard to boost his skills. Like we can see, he's working on learning spoken English from different courses. At the same time, he studies also day and night. And with Shubham Prabhu, Shubhajit Prabhu has very nice dealings. So despite staying in hostel and everything, we can see how grateful Shubhajit Prabhu is to get the association of devotees. And while in discussions, we have seen how deeply they go into Katha and bring out points which can be applied by everyone, not just not just for beginners, but everyone can improve in their life by applying those points. Hari Bol.
So next, I will be telling Prabhu. So I have very little interaction with Prabhu, but whatever I know, I will tell that Subhajit Prabhu, पहली चीज है कि एक विशेष क्वालिटी होती है शीलता, मतलब से कहा गया है शीलम सर्वत्र पूज्यते। So seal मतलब how to culturally behave with everyone, and he Prabhu knows very well. और बहुत ही स्वीट दिखते भी हैं, बहुत स्वीट बोलते भी हैं। So ये बहुत ही अच्छा है। और हर एक डिवोटी कोई कुछ भी उनको कहेगा तो तुरंत हेल्प के लिए आ जाते हैं। जैसे कल ही हम प्रभु जी के साथ एक नया पौधा लगा रहे थे, तो प्रभु जी ने पानी लाया, मिट्टी भरी और बहुत तरीके से हेल्प की जितना भी कर सकते थे। तो उनका हेल्पिंग नेचर, उनका स्वीटनेस और ये विशेष क्वालिटी शीलता की हर एक परिस्थिति में प्रॉपरली बिहेव करना, किसी तरह का रिटेलिएशन नहीं, तो बहुत ही अच्छा लगा। इवन दो हमने बहुत करेक्शन दिया है बहुत सी चीजों को लेके सेवाओं से संबंधित, लेकिन फिर भी प्रभु ने बहुत अमेजिंग क्वालिटी है। हरि बोल। हाँ, यस। तुलसी महारानी सेवा is very special service. So Prabhuji is taking care of that, and you can just by looking at Tulsi Maharani, the greenness, you can understand that she is served very nicely. और प्रभुजी एकदम टिपिकल बंगाली लुक है और वो भद्र पुरुष जैसा ही व्यवहार करते एकदम। Suraj, please summarize. Prabhuji is very meticulous to do services on time, and he is taking care of Tulsi Maharani very nicely, and his behavior is very sheel and bhadra. Hari Bol. So next we will be glorifying our dear Swam Vaishnav Prabhu. Everyone knows very well about him.
Why don't you come closer?
So Subham Vaishnav. So yeah. Ready? Yes. So for first devotee, let us hear from Suraj Prabhu about Swam Vaishnav Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji has many qualities, very amazing qualities. But
I'll explain one. Like I have seen he is a very balanced devotee. So I'll tell Proji is very responsible in many fields. Like he is doing a job, and recently Proji uploaded a WhatsApp status that he was the best employee or something like that in a month, and like that was your best performance something. So, and he is also in between preparing for some higher studies, doing some work for a professor in Sweden, and he takes care of his health, like purchasing fruits and medicines on regularly. So he is very balanced and taking care of his health also very nicely. And Proji has already learned many instruments. He plays kartal very nicely, mridanga, and he is learning harmonium also. With and then Prabhuji has a very pakka sadhana. Every day he hears Srimad Bhagavatam with Maharaj Prabhu and then with some other devotee. And Prabhuji has very good speaking skills. He is humorous and he is a good manager. So I'll summarize that he is balanced, he is responsible in all those things. He has acquired expertise in all those fields. Hari Bol. Next we'll hear from Maharaj Fu.
Hare Krishna. I've seen Shubham Prabhu goes to the root of essence of everything. He is not just satisfied with superficial things. When we read Bhagavatam, he really understands in depth the essence. And Krishna has also blessed him with a very good memory. So he has a good analytical power and memory. I think therefore he is naturally gravitating to research. He didn't try for a PhD, but somehow the professor was attracted to his abilities. So it was effortless PhD. And Prabhu is very friendly, very sensitive to others' needs. He is really a non-violent Vaishnav. It never troubles anyone. Very easily understands others' needs and concerns and gives them their space. And point I forgot. So he gives others their space, and yeah, so no one can be troubled by him like that. No one can be troubled by him. And one quality that I matches with me is very socializing. I cannot keep quiet. He also cannot keep quiet. So we always need friends. He needs friends, and I also need friends all the time. So it's very socializing also. Hare Krishna.
So myself, we glorifying Prabhuji. I am very fortunate to get his association. So one thing I remember him that he has a very sacrificing attitude, or everyone knows that just for staying in request of Maharaj Prabhu and Prem Sarup Prabhu, Prabhuji did his MTech 2 years more after his BTech. So that was a very sacrificing attitude. It needs very great heart to do this. और अभी रिसेंटली डिस्कस हो रहा था तो प्रभु बोल रहे थे कि देखिए कृष्ण हमारे लिए हमारे थोड़े से भी सेक्रीफाइस को देख के हमें हमारे लाइफ में कैसी अपॉर्चुनिटीज देते हैं. जैसे मैंने बस थोड़ा सा सेक्रीफाइस किया और अभी अपने आप ही एक PhD का डिग्री मेरे पास आ रहा है. सो दैट वाज अ वेरी टचिंग पॉइंट प्रभु हाउ सीज कृष्णा इन ऑल दिस सिचुएशन. और डीलिंग तो प्रभु का अमेजिंग है. और एक चीज जो मैं बहुत अफेक्टेड हूँ प्रभु के कम्युनिकेशन स्किल, हाउ टू टॉक. 10 लोगों को भी बैठा दीजिए, 20 लोगों को भी बैठा दीजिए, प्रभु इतना शांति से और इतना मेच्योरली बताते हैं कि सभी एक तरफ से प्रभु केवल देखेंगे. हमें एक्सपीरियंस है, जब हम प्रसादम लेने बैठते थे तो हमारे बैच के सारे डिवोटी 5-6 डिवोटीज प्रभु के पास ही आके बैठना चाहते थे क्योंकि प्रभु इतना मेच्योरली बढ़िया से हर चीज का आंसर देते हैं. So that was wonderful. Even Subhajit Prabhu and Vikas Prabhu also knew that after discussion 1-2 hours, sometimes it goes for 1 hours also. After the class they discuss with प्रभु. तो वो बहुत ही अमेजिंग है, बहुत ही ओशियानिक क्वालिटीज हैं प्रभु, और यहीं पे भी रोकते हैं समय की पाबंदी से. हरे कृष्णा. सो इस प्रेम ग्रुप प्रभु, पहली बार जब प्रभु को देखा था टेम्पल हॉल में, हम लोग का गुरु पूजा चल रहा था. मैं देखा कौन सा कांग्रेगेशन कोई बच्चा लेके आया है. मैं सबसे पूछ रहा था किसका बच्चा है, धोती कुर्ता में. नहीं बच्चा नहीं है, IIT धनबाद का फर्स्ट ईयर. बोले फर्स्ट ईयर है. तो प्रभु अभी ऐसे लग रहा है, समझिए फर्स्ट ईयर में कैसे लग रहा है. तो बहुत और एक और छोटा चीज कि लास्ट टाइम जब प्रीचिंग हमारा पूरा फेल हो गया था, काउंसलर चेंज हुए थे और वो सब, तो उस समय केवल प्रभु जी के ही ग्रुप से 2 बच्चे आए थे वॉइस में, और अभी भी वो हैं. उस सेकेंड ईयर के केवल 2 ही लोग हैं जो वॉइस में, और वो प्रभु की अमेजिंग प्रीचिंग के कारण आए. वो भी कहते हैं केवल प्रभु के कारण ही हम आए. सो दैट इज वेरी अमेजिंग. हरि बोल. वांट टू Prabhuji has got very nice analytical power and memory. He is a non-violent Vaishnava and he is very good in communication. Hari Bol.
Very inspired to have Shubham Prabhu in the library. एक बार I was on a call, on a Zoom call, where just a regular Zoom call, taking some doctor advice. Like people all over India get to the Zoom call to take doctor advice. So Shubham Prabhu looked at my screen and said, "It's a devotee call है, as a devotee is on this." So I had to embarrassingly say, "नहीं, कोई devotee नहीं है, तो ऐसे because doctor का call है." Because people from India, ऐसा है, free Zoom service है, the कोरोना की वजह से. So then he asked that, then he left. As soon as he asked, he left. Then the guy, there are 3-4 people on that. And one person, started talking to me, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It was something, he just, something he said, Krishna. And I said, oh, you are they say, yeah, I am going to Bhakti Vriksha here and in Noida and all that. So this is a regular person. As soon as he said he devotee call, he left. Then on that call, some devotee appeared. I was like, oh my God. It was like really amazing. Just that very second itself is like, so you can see a devotee desires, a lot of things happen, but a funny incident, but not really funny because.
Hare Krishna. So next we will be glorifying the leader of our whole BRC and Gita Bhavan. Hari Bol. So under his leadership, we can see that everyone is so much growing. I myself personally felt so much great under his leadership. He gives so much space and time. So we will glorifying Prabhuji. So we want that Balram Leela Prabhu first.
You may have the least association with Prabhu, all of you have not been so fortunate to be actually cultivated for a long time, like many of you, by Prabhuji. But I am getting cultivated in some way for the time that I am here, directly, indirectly, that's for sure. So some special qualities. One, see, he's a leader here. He's like the main leader in the ashram, as you can say. But what I've seen, all the dealings that I've seen, whether it is with, because I may not participate in your discussions with him, but I get to see a little bit as you are talking, or I am myself obviously also interacting. This quality of being a leader, but still being such a friend, I think is that's what I felt. That means you really have to be genuine. Otherwise you can't. It's very common to have it's like, let's say pride is a heavy word. What would be a light word? हल्का सा तो हम थोड़ा तो हो ही जाएगा. If you are a leader, it's very difficult. That's why we are here in this world, lust. So somebody who can be a leader at the same time be such a jolly friend to everybody I think is a very special quality that I would like to. But it's it cannot be even easily because you can't really fake it. You have to be like that. You have to become genuine, basically. If you're not genuine, then you can't be a friend and still be guiding people like that. That means you don't really consider yourself in a higher position. I think this is a very nice quality to have. Related to that is the fact that I think I feel he's very humble. At the same time, he's very straightforward also. So sometimes we are humble, then we may be little loose in our communication. We may not really get to say, okay, this is what needs to be done. I think it's straightforward too. For example, today, if it's 9:15, it's 9:15. It's not like I am humble, so Prabhu, you can go till 11:15. Not like that. It's 9:15, but at the same time, I can see is the current example. The way to convey that and way to mean it is a straightforward way. At the same time, it's a humble way. So this can be seen. So it's not. I think if people who are in some good position, they have this quality, they can do very well in inspiring people. वो ये एक बड़ा एक चैलेंज आता है कि हम लोग डिवोशन में बहुत ही या तो एकदम ही जैसे हिंदी में उसको लूजर पुजर बोलते हैं. We can be a little bit like कुछ भी चलता है. It's like we are very nice to talk to, very humble, these are other things, but then we may not be so particular in trying to do the things that we would like to get done in a proper way, because that is required for the service to move forward. So people who are in responsible positions we can take that inspiration for that. And another thing obviously is doing such dedicated study of the Shastras, where he is doing the Bhakti, Vedanta Bhakti Sarvabhauma, and what is the next? What is the last one final? Huh? You are doing Bhakti, there's nothing about that. I think he is doing the final, the highest. Bhakti Sarvabhauma is almost doing it. Bhakti Vedanta already doing it. So so this is not a small thing, because how many people, Gauranga Guru gives statistics. There are 200,000 devotees, 2 lakh devotees in the world. Number of Bhakti Shastris are like 8,000 or something. Number of Bhakti Vaibhavs are like maybe 1,000 or less, I think. So number of Bhakti Vedantas are few dozens, maybe not even few dozens. This is the second batch. So we are sitting with somebody with the second batch in history of ISKCON to do this course. It's not just a tiny thing. It requires a lot of dedication, because it's not such a hi-fi glorious service in one way, because not like so many people are, but it's a very dedicated service to do. Even Jayapataka Maharaj is trying to do, I had seen that note, he is trying to do, or he's encouraging people to do Bhakti Vaibhav and all that. So here, I'm extremely fortunate to be with such a person, and especially this, with BRC and Bhaktivedanta Research Center and Gita Bhavan, we try to work together and serve each other in a way so that we can take both these sevas forward. Having somebody like you is a great blessing, because we have to, so that we can have work together in a way and help everybody, help the mission move forward. So we can cooperate together very nicely. So thanks to Maharaj Prabhu, this cooperation and love between the two services, it all depends primarily on the person who is leading it. So he has very kindly shown a wonderful example, because of which I'm sure both Calcutta leadership, I know Gauranga Prabhu and all, would be extremely happy with Maharaj Prabhu for showing this wonderful seva. Report.
Hare Krishna. So I know Maharaj Prabhu since 2006. 6, I think. And Maharaj Prabhu
Gurasrampur. They're in same batch. And after passing from Kharagpur, although he had option to work, although he was working also for some time, we went to one company. I had my job in General Electric, which I never joined. Okay. And I joined Akash Institute for 4 months. And Prabhuji, he is also having some job, but we went for some interview, 4 or 5 of us in MN Dastur, his consultancy company. So they rejected everyone except him. They selected him somehow. And it was a good company. And earlier also one devotee was there. Later he joined Sharat for Sriji Vijay Prabhu. He joined Vrindavan. So he was working in that company. They selected, and they, after some time, he was thinking that it is becoming hectic. And because of that reason, he left that company job. And temple told that he can work in temple. And why I'm speaking this, because in the beginning in our temple, there was nothing much, not much opportunity. So whatever services they used to give him, he used to accept that. I think for some time he was serving under Radharaman Po. Then most adventurous was Govinda's stall, our first temple Govindas. So just after coming down from the staircase, at that area where our Prabhupada is there, Jalduta Prabhupada. So there they used to sell some items, and it was cooked in our kitchen. And somehow, I don't know the detail how it got closed, and later on some other things started. And Prabhuji then joined temple full time. Earlier also he's full time, but he was doing some services also. And then he started going to Dhanbad. I went recently to my home. Instead, I came back. My mother was asking, "Oh, Maharaj Pu, I So she was telling very openly to Garan Sampo. तो मेरे लिए तुम लोग और मेरा बेटा ये भी बेटा नहीं है, तो जो धनबाद में जितना लोग रहा है वही मेरा असली बेटा है। हाँ, बोली उनके सामने बोली, क्योंकि जब भी जरूरत होता था वो लोग आ जाता है, साल में 2-3 बार आ जाते। एंड दामोदर गोविंद को, महाराज को, जो लोग वहाँ पे सेवा की एज अ प्रीचर, एंड ऑल्सो ऑल द students, she was very much remembering them. And after going to Dhanbad, not only preaching but cultivating a group of people consistently is the toughest thing in ISKCON. Doing some project is also difficult, but it requires passion. Once you create, then done. But maintaining devotee, and 30-40 of them, 16 rounder, the more one is qualified and more one is matured in a devotional service, more time one person spends in devotional service, more time they need. And to maintain one devotee is like a big challenge, and he is doing that. And apart from that, like Prabhuji told, having a very deep interest in scriptures. Honestly speaking, I never saw him as an intellectual person in IIT Kharagpur, and even after passing out. But later on, courses after courses, and he himself and Anand Gaur Sundar Prabhu, these are the only 2 people who are authorized to give Bhakti Shastri courses. No, Bhakti Shastri is authorized to teach, and Bhakti Vaibhav also now. Yeah. So that is the reason that he is so deeply rooted in scriptures. He is able to also take care of so many other devotees. And as a brahmachari and as a friend also, like I see that he is very, very open, like Prabhuji told. And although he is having some like health concern and other things also, and at least when we are living in Albert Road Temple, so there we did not have room. It was just open hall. And living for many of them, it was not so easy, but just because it was service to Prabhupada, they carried on. And Prabhupada gave him a nice place to manage, to stay. And definitely,
He's having a big responsibility, and I hope, I wish and pray also that Krishna empower him to do more and more service and bring glory to the birthplace of Srila Prabhupada. And also BRC will flourish in future. So right now, in ISKCON community, they have started becoming aware that there is something like this. And probably in future, it will take a big shape, and definitely in the list of BRC volunteers, Maharaj Prabhu's name will stand out. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. So I am very grateful to get this opportunity to describe the qualities of Maharaj Prabhu. So we are together from 2004, from our first years in Bhakti. And fortunately, we were in the same row in the hostel. I was there, and Anand Gaur Sundar Prabhu and Maharaj Prabhu in one line only, almost 1-2 room after. So that was a good time. First, we were just friends, and after 2 months, we were introduced to Krishna conscious Bhakti friends now. We were. So Maharaj Prabhu is very dear friend to mine and very close, and I can discuss with him many things openly and without any judgmental way, like we just as a friend. So that is a very nice blessing for devotees, any devotee. So there are so many qualities. So something I have written. Like I think one day I was telling, we had one glorification. So Prabhuji, he is concerned about friends and devotees to make them comfortable. Like he thinks. So actually I am staying here from 1 month. So I am practically taking his space. I am in the room, so he has to go out, down. He is not telling me. He is like giving me priority, understanding that Prabhuji has come, so he should be like, I should serve him nicely. So I am feeling, but he is making me comfortable. Not only that, like when we go to my home and many places, like he makes friends should be given priority. They are comfortable. Like he concerned about. I am not that type of person. I am very selfish. So that quality impacted me. I should also take care. And we have done many sevas together from last 10 years when we joined in 2010. Like especially we were doing Rath Yatra services. So from last 8-9 years we have done Pandal Rath Yatra. So all the Dhanbad devotees, they know. So whenever like I was given Pandal Seva and Maharaj Prabhu equally with me. And I would be not concerned about the volunteers and devotees. So Maharaj Prabhu is here. So whole Dhanbad is here. So and Prabhuji never like very easily, like he will just understand and he will get devotees. And like devotees are working very hard at that time when. And one thing, if you Prabhuji takes one service, like this part of service, then you forget, just he will do nicely. But if you do lot of follow-up, so then Prabhuji said, Prabhuji, I have what I will do. And I have seen he takes what service, he does it very responsible. Aisa nahi ki sometimes you have to see devotees, ho raha hai ki nahi ho raha hai. So that is good thing, reliable, like very dependable. And he was very instrumental in my joining Brahmachari ashram also. Like so when we went to home to tell my parents, so my parents were making like very big thing and they were angry. Obviously, like it happens. So they called all the relatives and all. And we had a train and they were not allowing me to go. So they said only he can go. You have to stay. And then they said, okay, after 3-4 days, we will allow you to go. And I know 3-4 days make brain wash, many things. So Maharaj Prabhu went and my father left him to the station. But somehow Maharaj Prabhu inspired me. He said, Prabhuji, aaj nahi to kabhi nahi. So somehow that is like sutra. I was thinking, and Krishna gave me intelligence somehow. I said, okay, Prabhuji, you can take my bead bag and Bhagavatam. These two things you keep, I see how to manage. And other things were in home. But bead bag and Bhagavatam, you have to have your own at least. Other things. So somehow by his words, I got some brain by the mercy of Krishna, and then detail the so detail me. I will just tell, like, my father left him to the station in the bike, and I was in my home with my Fupaji, Pua, Mummy, Papa, Mom, many things, many relatives, and they were asking me just, oh, very nice, and they were deprogramming me. So then somehow, just see, Krishna wanted that. Like my Fufaji says at that time, oh, your friend has gone, so your father has left him to the station. So we do also one thing. Let us go to the station, and you can also see him off. Something he said. I don't know how it came. Otherwise, I was thinking I have to just run in the street only and just. So I was with in his car, and he was taking me. And the station is just 1 kilometer from my home. So my Fupaji went for parking. So I understood, now this is the chance. And my father was with Prabhuji in the platform. So he was not knowing that we have also come. And my Fupaji was in parking. So I was somewhere in the station. So I just ran from that place. And I came to the train, but I understood that place, that bogie, my father is there and Maharashtra is there at that point. So I did not enter at that point. I entered somewhere else in the train. And then afterwards, when train was about to start, my Fupaji is coming and running towards my father. He's telling, where is like Shiv Shankar, where is he? He said, I don't know. He said, no, I brought him because he can see his friend just final tata vata. So and both were in complete like puzzled, confused, like what is happening, where is he? And obviously parents have like, they feel na ki bachcho ko zyada pareshan karo, station mein kahin kood na gaya ho, kuch something. So they were like very, and I switched off my mobile that time. So I was in the toilet for 2-3 hours because they sent some police also in between, and train was moving, but he had some contacts up to some place. So up to that place, I had to be little careful. Somehow then I switch on my mobile, then they were shouting me. Actually, I can understand the parents, they feel, mother and father. And then so Prabhuji helped me, saved me. So I'm very grateful for that. So, and also as Prem Gopal was telling, Maharaj Prabhu is very good in taking care of devotees, having 30-40 devotees in voice and training them. It takes a lot of patience because everyone is different. Some are very cooperative, some are like, you have to train, but still they don't come to that. So it's a big thing to train the devotees. It's a very serious responsibility and very selfless thing because you just do the seva. Like, because Prabhuji is teaching Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Shastri. So I was like thinking, I tell him, oh, you should preach in Kolkata. Like you get some people and you help them, and it's your people, something like that. Fruity mentality, as I said. But Prabhuji is doing Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. So he says it's seva to devotees in ISKCON. It's a very detached way doing seva. So that is also, we should feel to serve devotees without any expectation. That is a good quality. Otherwise, we are attached to the fruits of preaching also. Then there is some problem. So that is also one nice inspiring. And I have seen he chants very nicely. He is very attentive in chanting, and he chants many rounds, like I have seen, and he focuses. From many years, like I'm seeing, he gives priority to the chanting. So that is very important thing because it's inspired me also. Maharaj Prabhu, Anand Gaur Sundar Prabhu, we were in a temple that I have seen many years. They do chanting so nicely. So I got inspired. I should also improve my chanting. So that is, even just being with devotee, you get inspired by seeing them, by their actions. So that is very nice. And he has very good attraction for hearing the lectures of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. He always hears the lecture of Maharaj. He will tell me some point, Maharaj said this and this. So, and he has very respectful, natural attachment for Maharaj. So I also desire, I also get that respect and more liking for Maharaj and attraction. So he loves lecture of Maharaj, and he feels this is my life. Like these lectures can take me to whole Krishna conscious life. So that is the way devotee should. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So I have done many offenses. Please forgive me, Prabhu. So and give your association more and more. Hare Hare Bol.
Pre-ball. So summarize or summarizing.
Okay. So I'll glorify Gaurang Swarnbro. So many things were spoken about me. But you see, bad qualities we acquire automatically. This is my effort required. But to acquire good qualities, we require company of good people. So I found Gaurang Swarnbro is very highly cultured person. And just by being with him, I benefit so much. Observing him, how he responds to different emotional stimuli. And it teaches me many lessons. Like when some disturbance comes, I observe how is Prabhu going to respond. And then I learn, yes, one can also deal with the issue in a cool head, with a cool head. Prabhuji has very cool head. You know, Vallabh Chaitanya Prabhu calls him Panditji. Because we used to see in Rath Yatra, Rath Yatra was massive service. And if you're on the top, you will be shot from all different directions. That was a Pandal service in Rath Yatra. Pandal service, Rath Yatra. So Prabhuji used to be on the top because I can't handle that pressure. But Prabhu would handle the pressure and yet would remain very polite and maintain respect for every single Vaishnava. That was amazing. And I was just dumbfounded by Prabhuji's quality. So that Balram Lila was mentioning now, being straightforward, that he's my teacher in that. Satyapal Ru was telling this time in Kurukshetra, Gaurang Swarnbro, वो वैसे तो बहुत पोलाइट हैं, बहुत प्रेम से बात करते हैं, लेकिन सेवा में कोई कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करते. पोलाइट बट फर्म, वेरी पोलाइट बट वेरी फर्म. पूरा क्लैरिटी रहता है उनको क्या करना है क्या नहीं. So very cool-headed. I am fortunate that I get Prabhuji's association. And he is very mature in interpersonal dealing with people. And he understands when to withhold and when to speak very, very carefully. So one time we were in Ashram Minto Park and two senior devotees were arguing loudly. It's quarreling. So I was curious to know who they were and what was the sort of argument. You know, in India, we become curious whenever there are quarrels, people gather around to watch. So I had same mood and I was going to go out and see. So Prabhuji stopped me. He said, "Bacche rahoge, to bache rahoge." बच्चे रहोगे तो बचे रहोगे, बड़े मत बनो अभी, को लड़ने दो, आप जितना मत करो, आराम से बैठो. Yes, we cannot idealize everyone. Everybody has their own bright side and dark side. I have more darker side, but my seniors are brighter than me. But of course, they also have their side, other side. So that maturity, interpersonal dealing maturity, we can learn from Prabhuji. And another thing is Prabhuji is very helpful. I've seen since 2004, from our first year, Prabhuji was considered a buffer. Like we were living in HJB Hall, Homi Jahangir Bhava technically, but we used to call it Hare Krishna Chapa Bhavan. So we were like 50 devotees in one hostel building, 50 devotees. And any devotee had any problem, any emotional turmoil, physical turmoil, can go to Prabhuji. He is also, he has good knowledge of Ayurveda. So physical turmoil also, Prabhuji can tell you treatments, different treatments. So he was the one who could handle so much pressure and problem from people and still remain undisturbed, carry on and with his services, with his studies, preaching, and he could take so much pressure. I remember one time he was in, when he was working in company, so we were working in different companies. So that for that 1 year, we were staying separate. Otherwise, we have been together for last 17 years. For 1 year, he was in a different company, different base, Shipur. And I was in Salt Lake. I was in different, so like that. We used to only interact on weekends during that 1 year period. So he was sharing one time that it was about 9:30 that he did his job in office, went back to base, Shipur, and then he gets the hellish phone call. Oh, your job is not complete, come back. So we took another bus in night to go back to office, completed his job, finished his job, and then again came back. You can't irritate him easily. Such a cool head, and very responsible person, very trustworthy, responsible, and very helpful, non-envious person. Like now, Prabhuji is pushing me to do some preaching, but he's also helping me in preaching so much. So if he's in one field, he would not mind others also excel him in the same field. He would rather assist people, help people, guide to excel him further. Like Vaikuntha mood, na, in that room 302, we have Radhanath Maharaj's quote. He says that the mood of Vaikuntha is that we want to see everyone excel more than us. So that mood Prabhuji has. I'm very grateful, and I have been committing many offenses to Prabhuji indeed. So beg forgiveness and pray that Prabhuji continues to give association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'm very fortunate to speak about Gauranga Sarampo. And Gauranga Sarampo also, I know since 2006, because I was there only for 2 years during my MTech in Kharagpur. And their batch was the biggest batch ever, I think. First year batch, 18 devotees, voice inmates. So somehow, so many are not there right now, but those who survived till now are they and Anand Gaur Sundarpo, few more. And after I joined, and he was working with Ernst & Young, that is also a big company, and leaving that, and finally when he joined Temple, 2012, we started children preaching. And I don't know how, I never did any official meeting. क्यों मंदिर में होता है ना, किसी को आपको सेवा के लिए लगाना है तो पहले मीटिंग होगा कि ये कौन सा डिपार्टमेंट में जाएगा. हम लोग बस ऐसे ही चालू कर दिया और इसके पहले कि कोई समझे हमारा एक डिपार्टमेंट बन गया. ठीक है, और मेरा पहले से चालू था. प्रभु जी somehow joined. ओके, फिर एक दिन मंदिर में बुला के पूछते हैं कि अरे गौरांग उसका सेवा गेस्ट हाउस में होना चाहिए, कि गेस्ट हाउस में सही में क्राइसिस था. तो मैं बोला अरे भाई ये तो 2013-14 में already was serving very nicely. Then Nachanpur also told that he can take care of both. Okay, he can serve in guest house department and parallelly he can preach, children preaching also. And that time he was not taking any classes. जैसा होता है ना कि आप कभी प्रचार में एक साथ कर रहे हैं तो इच्छा होता है कि आप भी प्रचार करें, प्रचारक बने, ये सब वो सब. और यहाँ से फिर सॉल्ट लेक जाते थे प्रभु जी, बस में चढ़ के बच्चों का एक क्लास लेने के लिए. अभी भारतीय विद्या भवन प्रीमाइसेस में स्कूल में एक क्लास होता था. एंड इवेंचुअली 2014-15 से he started taking congregation classes. And one thing I would like to say that जो भी इनको सेवा देते था, कभी ऐसा मतलब ये नहीं कि ये नहीं करेंगे, वो नहीं करेंगे. और the understanding was very good. More than serving, the understanding has to be very good, and very few devotees, they get along very nicely in their services. I am very fortunate to have Gauranga Sarampo, a person like that in my group or in my preaching, because मेरा नेचर थोड़ा ऐसा है, पता नहीं, मैं ट्राई करता हूँ लेकिन लोग थोड़ा डर जाते हैं. ओके, तो मेरा सारा कांग्रेगेशन के लिए मतलब ही इज एक्टिंग लाइक काउंसलर. किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम होगा ना उनको फोन करेगा, हमको कोई फोन नहीं करता. नंद किशोर है, बहुत सारे लोग हैं, पता नहीं उनको क्या लगता है कि प्रभु जी एंग्री मैन है. बोले ठीक है, अच्छा है, मेरा भी समय बच जाता है. तो गौरांग इज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ दैट डिपार्टमेंट. और पंडाल सेवा, definitely it's a huge seva, but very few devotees know that how much money he has saved. पहले हम लोग जितना खर्चा करते थे, बाद में खर्चा इवेंचुअली ठीक है बढ़ा क्योंकि पंडाल का साइज एंड सब कुछ बढ़ा, बट द मेंटेनिंग क्वालिटी एंड डीलिंग विथ दिस टाइप ऑफ पीपल, मतलब जो लोग सेवा किए इनके साथ पंडाल में उनको समझ में आएगा. एक तो है कि डेकोरेटर, और डेकोरेटर के साथ सारे लेबर्स, और लेबर्स को कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है, और उसके बीच में पैसा बचाना. और हर साल ये सेवा 2-3 महीना पहले चालू होता है. एंड कॉलिंग ऑल द डेकोरेटर्स एंड टेकिंग देयर कोटेशंस, एंड एवरी ईयर शिफ्टिंग द सेवा. जिसने आज मंदिर बनाया अगले साल उसको मंदिर नहीं देना, किसी और को देना है. एंड पुटिंग एलईडी लाइट, आप लोगों ने देखा होगा एलईडी लाइट डिफरेंट पास टाइम पुट करते हैं, तो दैट वाज हिज इनोवेशन, डूइंग ऑल रिसर्च एंड एवरीथिंग। और उसमें भी एक बड़ा फनी चीज है, पहले साल में इन लोगों ने कुछ तो 1 लाख रुपया या 1.25 लाख रुपया में कुछ तो लिया था हाँ, और दूसरे साल में इन्होंने पूरा रिसर्च कर लिया और उसके बाद बोलते हैं कि तुमको 80,000 दूंगा, समथिंग लाइक दैट। बोला अरे पिछला साल आप 1.5 लाख दिए थे, इस साल 80,000। बोला करना है करो, नहीं तो छोड़ दो। वो 80,000 में करा भी लिया उन्होंने दूसरे साल। तो लाइक दिस मेंटेनिंग क्वालिटी एंड एवरीथिंग। आप जब लास्ट 10 दिन का सेवा, 10 दिन का ही समय मिलता है पंडाल को बनाने का, क्योंकि वो आर्मी का प्रीमाइसेस है, एंड द सर्विसेज आर सो हैवी, सो डिमांडिंग, बिकॉज टेम्पल वाले को टाइम पे टेम्पल रेडी चाहिए, डोनर वाले को टाइम पे ये रेडी चाहिए, सारे डिपार्टमेंट को अपने सब टाइम से चाहिए, परफेक्ट चाहिए। और सब लोग जाके मीटिंग हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है, प्रभु जी को जाके बोल रहे हैं, पे स्माइल होके बोलते हैं हो जाएगा हो जाएगा लोग टेंशन में दिखते थे, जिनको करना है वो कभी टेंशन में दिखे नहीं। और जब पंडाल चालू हो गया तो सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम आता है पंडाल चालू के समय, वो चलने वाला जो जगह है ना टूट जाता है बीच बीच में, और उस समय सारे वर्कर भाग जाते हैं, सारे लेबर भाग जाते हैं, और सब लोग जाके बोलेंगे अरे मेरे वहां पे ये गिर गया, लोग गिर रहे हैं, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है। कभी इनको देखेंगे नहीं टेंशन में, हो जाएगा हो जाएगा सही। और सबको मैनेज करते हुए फिर बाद में जब रिव्यू मीटिंग होता है तो एवरीवन फाइनली फील्स हैप्पी। तो गौरांग स्वामी का वो नेचर है that he can maintain his calmness even in very difficult situation। और practically मैंने तो काफी ऑफेंड किया है प्रभु जी को, बट कभी उन्होंने शायद ऑफेंस लिया नहीं, इसीलिए इतने दिनों से साथ में है। और सारे यात्रा सब कुछ का जो मैनेजमेंट है मेरे यात्राओं का, तो मोस्ट ऑफ द पार्ट इज डन बाय हिम। अर्लियर ही वाज डूइंग एवरीथिंग, इवेंचुअली ही आल्सो गॉट हेल्पिंग हैंड, बट मेरा उतना मैनेजमेंट वाइज सेवा नहीं रहता है, प्रभु जी सब कुछ मैनेज कर लेते हैं। एंड ही इज अ वेरी गुड टीचर इन द सेंस, यदि उनके क्लासेस वगैरह में जाएंगे, लोगों से भी पूछता हूँ मैं कभी कभी, तो ही एक्सप्लेन्स द थिंग वेरी नाइसली। नॉट ओनली दैट ही इज वेरी इंटरनलाइज्ड डिवोटी, बट आल्सो टेकिंग केयर ऑफ ग्रुप। एंड जब इन्होंने इंटरनेट प्रीचिंग चालू किया, लाइक लॉकडाउन के समय, पहले हम लोग कभी ऑनलाइन बच्चों का क्लास नहीं किए, बड़ों का भी नहीं किए, तो बड़ों का आई गॉट इंस्पायर्ड थ्रू हिम। तो व्हेन ही स्टार्टेड ही वाज टेकिंग क्लास ऑफ, उनके एक बैच में 250-300 लोग आते थे एट वन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम जूम क्लास में, और उसमें से कई लोग अभी 16 माला पे आ गए हैं, अलग अलग जगह पे रह रहे हैं, कुछ लोग यात्रा में भी आए थे। और हम लोग जब वृंदावन का एक यात्रा करने वाले 2 महीने पहले, समाव कैंसिल हो गया, तो अलग अलग पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया से वो लोग आने के लिए रेडी थे। कुछ लोग यूके में हैं, वहां 16 माला करने लगे हैं, जो कभी शायद लंदन टेम्पल नहीं गए होंगे, बट दे आर अटेंडिंग हिज क्लासेस ऑनलाइन प्रीचिंग से। ओके, सो आई विश एंड प्रे दैट, एक ही मेरा विश है कि प्रभु जी बस जीवन भर अपना संग देते रहे बाकी सब कुछ हो जाएगा। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. I just try to speak a little bit about Gaurang Smaran Prabhu. One time, my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Devamrita Maharaj, asked one senior disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, whose name is Nityanand Priya Prabhu. He asked, "So Nityanand Priya, do you do some exercise? Do you do some yoga?" So, and Nityanand Priya Prabhu is originally from Mumbai in his Indian body. So he said, in jokingly, that was a joking conversation. So Prabhu said, "Oh, Maharaj, we are Indians. We speak a lot about yoga. We don't do it." So, and of course, this is not a challenge for only Indians, but all around the world, whether devotee or non-devotee, Indian or non-Indian, it's a big challenge to keep motivated and inspired to do daily exercise. And especially if you're over 30, 35, and I myself have to really find some inspiration to do it because I have a bad knee and I'm almost 40 now. So in previous ashrams, I was fortunate to have such inspiration, but here I was thinking, oh, how will I stay inspired? But as soon as I came, Maharaj Prabhu told me about Prabhu's regulation of exercise, and I then personally saw him. So then in that respect, I got carefree. So thank him for being very regulated and exercising, maintaining the body, which is Krishna's property for Krishna's service. And then another thing I found out about Prabhu was he is very particular about details, how things work, how sun moves, which direction, from which direction cold wind comes. I was quarantined for 1 week in room 202, then I was moved to 303. And indirectly, Prabhu mentioned about sun's movement, how it moves. In this season, it goes from east to west and this and that. He was indirectly telling me that that room will get really hot. So after a few days, I realized, and then I moved to another room. But I can see how he researches and he knows about Vastu as well and how the movements of sun. Yeah, so you shared with me. So you, I could see you were very particular about that sort of knowledge. And then when I told him that that room is very hot, then he said that, oh, I was thinking from the beginning, how will you stay there? Initially, he was just telling me about the sun's direction like that. And then also Prabhu, Prem Gopal Prabhu mentioned about details about Prabhu's preaching. I don't know so much, but I've heard his 1 or 2 classes. And last night also he was giving a class online. And I saw very simply, he presents all the tattvas and all the philosophy very simply, in a simple way. And as we know, purity is the force. So that is really effective. And then Prabhu was telling very humbly about this devotee who he initially brought, and now he's having some cows in Nagpur, I think. And you know that you get the very amazing ghee from that devotee. So that Prabhu brought him initially. So that's very inspiring. His purity can affect people. So thank you very much for being amazing example.
My father, he was speaking about one plant, and I don't take any interest in all this topic. पर इनको इतना इंटरेस्ट आता है, पिताजी के साथ कहाँ प्लांट खोजने चले गए, फिर आते समय वो प्लांट लेके आए, ऊपर में लगाए हैं. सो किसी को भी साइनस, हेडेक और क्या क्या है तो पूछ लीजिएगा बाद में. ये सब का प्रॉब्लम है तो उसका पत्ती से प्रभु जी ठीक कर देंगे.
So now we will be glorifying Prabhuji Bhakti Sharpu. So starting from Balram Lila.
Hare Krishna. Bhakti Sar Prabhu is a revolutionary in Bhaktivedanta Research Center, because really he has become the first brahmachari in the history of Bhaktivedanta Research Center to join as a full-time. This will go down the pages of history. And he first met Hariswari Prabhu in just, I think he was saying in a car in Australia, and Hariswari Prabhu told him a little bit about BRC. He always had that. So, you know, he got interested there. Then when he came, I think, to India sometime, then he came to BRC. When did you come first time? Few years back, quite a few years back. 16, yeah, 4 years back. So he had one visit during his, while he was going to Mayapur, he visited here briefly. And then I think you saw something online or something. Then that's, how did you come to know next time? Like before this thing, how did you get reminded again? You saw something online. Yeah, you saw the website, and so you always had that in mind. He went to Maharaj and he said, I want to serve in the Bhaktivedanta Research Center. And Maharaj, he said, my thought was that I will serve part-time. Maharaj asked him, well, why don't you move then to serve full-time? So this is the dedication of a disciple. He is going there just, I will do this one other seva. But Maharaj is asking him, then why don't you do this full-time, move to India? is immediately, yes, I will go. So this is, big change in life, change the entire country, the entire whole setup and everything. This means just the dedication to the direction of the spiritual master is, which is the main purpose of that itself is the basis of our existence in spiritual life. So I think that itself is a very big thing. I've as since we did some calls and now Prabhuji is here already, and in my now start in interaction for some time. Some of the things I can share, what I'm amazed with. One is I don't know. I don't think he even knows maybe Rajgun or Tamgun. I think in the 14th chapter he missed that point. I think he's saying a mode of material nature, not the 3 modes of material nature. Because I'm seeing, I'm jumping around. One time I'm coming down the stairs and I can't even walk like simple. I was running as usual, maybe passionate. So Prabhu gives me the way a little bit because he's going in a very, and that's what I see in the mode of goodness in his seva and everything. It's very, very gentle. So I think the word gentle is like personification के में आ जाएंगे Bhakti Sar Prabhu in that. And yeah, another probably even more amazing quality is that I think what I saw is that is some people have to think about that. Yes, I will do service in the background, and and I have to work towards that. But here I can see the example. I think he like really deeply within, I think, wants that background में ही service करें. तो हमने तो उनको बीच में बोल भी रहे कि yeah, sometime you have to come to the call, So I had to really kind of convince him that sometime you will have to introduce you, we'll have to talk about you or something like that. And he actually is saying, I mean, and genuinely, it's like he just naturally loves to be and wants to be in the background. ऐसा लग रहा है कि मेरा कोई recognition नहीं हो तो I'm totally comfortable with that. I mean, that means you have to be very deep within like that, very qualified person from Australia, abroad for so many years. We have one similarity. We were almost 16 years abroad, both of us. I on this side of the planet, this side. But the consciousness is way different. मेरा तो पूरा मेरे को तो foreground और ये fashion ये सब में बहुत ज़्यादा तीव्र विश्वास है मुझे इन चीजों पे. मुझे इनको कम करने के लिए कोशिश करनी पड़ती है, but it's coming so naturally to him, and he is interacting with the people who are much junior to him in age, but he is interacting as if like they are my senior. So that's like I think Pranjal Prabhu would also feel that way. वो Pranjal Prabhu के साथ भी ऐसे deal कर रहे हैं जैसे कि. So this is that means you naturally are very happy to be, which Mahaprabhu is defined as das anudas. हमको तो बहुत पीटना पड़ता है अपने आप को ये समझने के लिए. Lekin it's very nice to see that actually in this Kali Yuga also people can naturally have this thing. It's so, I mean, where I deal with my even younger members in the family, the nieces, nephews, who I can see आजकल मतलब the very difficult thing in the younger generation, आप लोग तो बहुत ज़्यादा interact करते हो, is the fact that that I just want to first serve. Even if they are not spiritually there, but the idea is that first learn how to be in the background and serve. वो जाता जा रहा है, and more people want to be like the leader and make your mark. Then social media, there's how many likes, how many this, all of that is. So it's actually very heartening to see that, and this is really an example of what Prabhupada has taught. Even being abroad so many years and senior person, but you are very natural to have some completely in the background. It doesn't matter. This person is like 16 years younger to me. Is Das Anudas. It's a very amazing quality, a personification of that. So thank you very much. And unfortunately already committing quite a few offenses, might very likely might commit many more. So taking the blessings of all the seniors here, that I may not do much of that in the seva, recognizing that whatever we have to do in seva, we try to do, recognizing that you are a very senior and renounced devotee to come here, and your association as a senior person is a great blessing for me personally. Thank you very much.
Actually, I learned about Bhakti Sar Prabhu about 9 or 10 years ago from my friend in Delhi. So my friend's friend is his brother. Vaikuntha Chandra Prabhu's friend is Shankar Shannitai Prabhu, and Shankar Shannitai Prabhu is his brother. And Shankar Shannitai Prabhu told us that his brother had joined Brahmachari Ashram in Australia. Prabhuji was in those days in Australia. And I was wondering, who is this Rishi Shringa Brahmachari in Australia? I was shocked. My jaws dropped. Like our senior god brothers Gaurang Bro and Govind Bro, they go to Europe for assisting in preaching on order of Maharaj, and they were asked by other the local devotees, why don't you send more brahmacharis to West? तो बोले कि अरे हमारी हालत खराब हो रही है और किसको आग में झोंकें. So to remain a brahmachari in the Western world is so difficult. We have taken vows that unless we reach stage of bhava prema, we'll not go to West. But Prabhuji is coming from West, staying brahmachari 16 years. वो तो कबड्डी है, कबड्डी कबड्डी कबड्डी. चलो भाई वापस. तो Prabhuji तो he was in the base of Maya and preaching Krishna consciousness vigorously. Simply by that fact, I developed so much reverence for Prabhuji. I have so much appreciation for Prabhuji. And the reasons why Prabhuji could stay such a strong brahmachari in turbulent environment is spoke that is the mood of Das, Das, and Das. It's amazing. Thank you.
Like Prabhuji was telling, Prabhuji is so simple. I'll just tell that when Raju was not there, so whoever used to ring the bell from library, Prabhuji used to go down to open the door, and that continued for 3-4 days like that. And whenever he is absent, though this is not his assigned service, he feels like that there is no one assigned, so I should do this service. And whenever I get time, I'm very fortunate to get Prabhuji's Sangha. I ask him a lot of questions. How was his life in New Zealand, preaching, food, ashram? So there they do not have luxury of full-time cook. They used to do their cooking themselves, turn by turn. हाँ होता ही नहीं, वेस्ट में होता ही नहीं है, क्योंकि you cannot afford to keep anything like that. And like everyone shared, remaining there for so many years successfully in itself is a success. So Hare Krishna, and any offense or anything, please forgive me.
Krishna, so many devotees interact Prabhuji also. So let us hear from Vasant.
Haribol. Same thing. I also felt hard touched that how simple a person can be. Where in Australia, or where he went to Australia, there he joined ashram and stayed there for 16 years. And coming here, there is nothing called becoming big, serving in background. That Maharaj ka lectures, Maharaj again and again focus that we should be insignificant, invisible, servant of servant of servant. Devotee always wants to be like this. So I saw that Prabhuji is personification of that. So I was amazed to see how can a person be like this. I'm not so learned in terms of things, but somehow seeing Prabhuji, I feel that maybe ideal brahmachari is supposed to be like this. I don't know, Mani. If I don't know, but this is how I feel. This is the purity of the ashram.
Haribol. And Pro deals with me very friendly. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you, Haribol.
So let's hear about special Prem Gopal Pro. So
प्रभु जी हैं, आप दोनों लोग हैं अभी तो।
जैसा आपको डिसाइड
ठीक है, आप लोग आना तीनों कल पर पक्का, नहीं तो इधर जल्दी 8 बजे कर लेंगे ना, 8 से 9, 8 से 9। हरि बोल। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय जय।
We did one of the sessions where the topic came up. So I was saying, okay, international भी करते हैं, लेकिन फिर मुझे लगा कि that short time 10 minutes of 15 minutes it's not possible. Yeah, ये होता है। What is it?